When the day of Pentecost came,
Cuando llegó el día de Pentecostés,
When the day of Pentecost came,
Iwe, nupuranto rio in Pentecost.
when the day of Pentecost came,
they were all together in one place.
estaban todos juntos en un mismo lugar.
Ikke John Nugusis medicine, Raja Figanon, Eureri.
Suddenly, a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting.
Iwe awitir fish, Ewagu Serinang, mi wewagari, Nugura Sapan, mi pachakun. Aurora, Urusen, Ewaim, Yawara, Mujafagan, yeah.
Todos fueron llenos del Espíritu Santo y comenzaron a hablar en otras lenguas, según el Espíritu les daba habilidad para expresarse.
Now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven living in Jerusalem. And at this sound the crowd gathered and was bewildered, because each one heard them speaking in the native language of each. Amazed and astonished, they asked, "Are not all these who are speaking Galileans? And how is it that we hear, each of us, in our own native language?"
how is it we hear in our own language?
Hispanic, white, Chuckese, and residents of rural communities, urban metropolises, and suburbia, technophobes and the techno-savvy, lily-white churches and churches of color, sit down and shut up churches, and raise your hands and yell amen churches, hip people and people with hip replacements. In our own languages, we hear them speaking about God's deeds of power. And they were perplexed, saying,
What does this mean? What does this mean?
Then Peter stood up with the 11 and said, "In the last days, God says, I will pour out my Spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy, your young men will see visions, your old men will dream dreams. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my Spirit in those days, and they will prophesy."
Kota pasa. Yeusun, metu waferi non, e keoran in Saporon. Ngagu petira toguri, ora ravas medicine. Novi man me fefin reboosuri. Novi eruan e boor kurayer. E keojinap man me reivi reboe soudatan. Pan moge nei joragang man me fefin. Upetira ti nguri. War nore kararan perrepe arroga feiri hay que capaz.
Y sucederá en los últimos días, dice Dios, que derramé de mi espíritu sobre toda carne, y vuestros hijos y vuestras hijas profetizarán, vuestros jóvenes verán visiones, y vuestros ancianos soñarán sueños. Y aún sobre mis siervos y sobre mis siervas derramaré de mi espíritu en esos días y profetizarán.
Fellow Israelites, listen to this. Jesus of Nazareth was a man accredited by God to you by miracles, wonders, and signs, which God did among you through him, as you yourselves know. This man was handed over to you by God's deliberate plan and foreknowledge, and you, with the help of wicked men, put him to death by nailing him to a cross. But God raised him from the dead, freeing him from the agony of death, because it was impossible for death to keep its hold on him.